Detroit, you had it. You had it. It was 24-7 at halftime. You were beating the brakes off of the 49ers. You were running the ball. Jared Goff looked amazing off of play action. And then just you're living and dying by this hyper-aggressive play, especially in key moments. Remember back in week 17 when they played the Dallas Cowboys, they had opportunities to just settle for the PAT. But there were so many times that Dan Campbell was just like, no, we're going for two. We're going for the win. Ended up not getting it. And that meant that the Detroit Lions gave up that game, their loss. And very similarly to these 49ers, they had two opportunities. Your team just stopped the 49ers and they cut the lead from 24-7 to 24-10. That's still two possessions. And you're in field goal range and you decide to go for it. I understand, step on the throat, but maybe just a little closer. If you didn't get on a goal-to-go situation, you're at like the 8-yard line or inside the 20, and it's a long way to get over it. I understand 2 yards is makeable, don't get me wrong, but just go for the field goal. You gotta put them in a position that they have to possess the ball 3 times to get the lead or tie it. And they allowed momentum to get back, and they gave the 49ers hope. Imagine if you kick that field goal, it's 27-10 midway through the third quarter. It's still very much like the 49ers had a lot to get out of. They even score the next possession, it is still a 10-point game. When you gave up the score on the next possession, it's only a 1-possession game, and it just meant that that next possession had to be perfect. At least possess the ball, take time off the clock. But that didn't happen because immediately after that score, Jahmyr Gibbs fumbles the ball inside their own territory, deep inside their own territory, and the 49ers take advantage and score to tie it up. Lead gone, fourth quarter, you're tied 24 apiece. That's just Dan Campbell. I love you, man. This culture that you've built is amazing, from what Detroit used to be to what it is now. Totally different. But there's some times that you have to go through it, and I'm doing it with 2020 hindsight. I understand that. But even in those moments, there's a different feel to those games where instead of going for knockout heavy punches to the head, take some body blows. It is a long fight. And if you keep trying to go for the knockout, you wear yourself out, like we saw with Detroit, and you sometimes collapse. That happened. That defense was out there for a lot longer than it needed to be, and that offense lost its rhythm. They went on this wild run, 27-point run, and it was 34-24, and it wasn't thanks for a last-minute touchdown to make it 34-31. Basically meaningless. It comes down to an onside kick. Onside kicks don't work anymore. NFL, we gotta change that rule, or just go with the 4th and 10 situation, but that's for another day. That's for the offseason. It's just that Detroit had the opportunities and simply just blew it. I don't think the 49ers really scooped and stole this win. It was more like Detroit gave it away. It's disappointing. Detroit would have broken all these records, broken so many narratives, but I guess it's a little bit of that curse coming back in, but certainly something to build on for the future. I just don't know, because as Dan Campbell said, this team may not be here next year. You just don't know if that's your only shot at a title.